Alright guys and girls, welcome to another episode of Astro Auto Repairs. Can you dig it? Alright, check it out. Behind me, right here, I got a 2004 Nissan Maxima. Customer's complaint is running rough. Like it's got a bad misfire. Check engine light was flashing. Now it's on constantly. So pretty much we know basically it's got a misfire. But we're gonna check this out and see what's going on. Alright? That's right, coming up on Astro Auto Repairs. This channel is a member of the Astral Stars, which means we have a zero-tolerance policy against the harassment of others. Anybody who violates that policy will be banned. For further information, please visit www.theastralstars.com. Alright guys, the first thing we're going to do is verify the complaint. So let's start this vehicle up. There it is. I just felt that. Yeah. So it must get worse as it warms up. There it is again. Alright, so I'm going to shut this off. Next thing, guys, I want you to grab your Autel AL539B. This machine is bad. Alright, let's grab it and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got our Autel AL539B. Guys, you got to get you one of these machines. These machines is bad. And these machines are a lot better than a lot of those $5,000, $10,000 machines out there. And if you want to learn more about this machine, check out our new channel, Autel AL539B. And I'm going to place a link in the description below.
How come you never plug my channel? You only plug your channel.
Because this is automotive.
Whatever.
That's mutts.
Whatever.
Mutts are us.
It's
all
not
right.
mutts are us. People be looking for mutts are us.
All right. What we're going to do is connect our diagnostic connector. And it's located up under the dashboard, right along the steering column. It's right about there. So let's reach up under here and plug this up. All right. It came on. All right. I'm going to pull the codes and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're up to the read code section, so I'm going to hit OK. And we have a P0301, cylinder 1 misfire detected. 1 of 2. If I scroll over here, again, you got to subscribe to the other channel. Scroll to the right, and that's going to scroll the page down. 2 of 2 is the same thing. P0301. So we got a misfire on cylinder number 1. That's cool. That's no problem for us, guys, because we're Astral. Let's go check this out. We'll be right back. All right, guys, to get to our ignition coils on this vehicle, you got to remove this cover right here. This cover is held on by 4. Okay?
Yep.
4 5mm hex bolts. So, what we're going to do, again, guys, I told you this in other videos. Go to Harbor Freight and get you this Warrior security bit set. This thing will save you a lot of time and money.
And it's cheap.
And it's cheap. It's like $7, man. Check that out. And what you want to do, well, I'm going to get my Paul driver. I like doing that. So this thing is a nut driver. It is cool. And what I got is I got my adapter up here. That's from the set. And I got my 5mm hex bit from that set. And I'm going to go ahead in here and I'm going to take off these 4 bolts. Alright, let's take them off and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got our cover off. Now, the first thing you got to do, guys, is locate which cylinder is number 1. And that means you got to know the firing order on this vehicle. Well, not the firing, just got to know where cylinder number 1 is located. Now, on this engine, cylinder number 1 is over here. You got 3 of them. 1, 3, and 5. And over here you got 2, 4, and 6. And if you guys noticed, we worked on this vehicle before, as you can see, a brand new coil right here, because it had a P0306 in that video, and we ended up changing the coil. How did you know it was the coil last time? Because what we did, it had a misfire. So what we did was unplug this coil. The misfire stayed there. Then what we did was take these two coils, swap them out. Then start the vehicle up again and unplug this one. The misfire was a misfire. And we unplugged this one, it stayed there. The misfire didn't change anything. So we knew we had a bad coil. But we got a problem over here. Because we can't do that to this one unless you're going to sit here and remove this whole plenum, because you got to remove the plenum to get to those coils back there. Unless you're going to remove the plenum, get a new gasket, swap the coils, and do all that, and you can't even get back there to unplug them. So what do you do now, guys? How do you diagnose whether that's a bad coil back there without pulling off this intake? Guess what? That's where you pull out the Autel AL539B. Guys, you are going to love this. And it goes to guys who subscribe to our channel, to the Autel AL539B, you're going to love this. Yeah, buddy. All right, so grab your Autel AL539B. That's right, the same machine that you use to pull the codes is now going to diagnose our ignition system. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got it. Now, check this out. Before I get into that, all these coils share one positive wire, one hot wire. They all share that. And when that computer activates that coil, it creates a voltage. The voltage goes up to the angle and then shuts off. It powers the coil and then shut it down. All right? As long as the coil is good, you're going to get that signal. If you don't get that signal, the coil is no good. So what we got to do now, we got to tap into this system. How the heck we going to do that? All right, for this vehicle, what you got to do is get up a wiring diagram, go online, find it. You're going to find it somewhere online. You got to find the fuse that powers your ignition coils. All right, and this one is located inside the fuse box over here, and it's fuse number 35. So what we're going to do, you go over here, pull the cover off. Well, this one don't actually say the numbers, but what you're going to be looking for is that right there. Ignition and ECC continuity, that's the one you're going to be, the 15 amp fuse. So, come on this way. And looking at it right here, it's the top row, the fourth fuse down. So now what we got to do over here is to get to this, it's got little tabs over here. You can see it now, I can get a light on it.
I got it.
You got to pull that little tab out a little bit and pick the fuse box up. There's one on that side and there's one right over here. So pick that up. You're going to pull it out just enough. There's our 15 amp fuse. So what you're going to do is grab you a pair of needle nose or something and pull that fuse out. And then we're going to get our test connector. We'll be right back. All right, guys, here's our fuse tester kit. Okay, it comes in a 3-piece, and this is the one we need right here because this is the fuse, the mini fuse that comes out. Then we're going to need 2 wires with solderless connectors on it, and the end of them just opened up. What we're going to do is put one right there and one right there, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, now what we're going to do is put our ends like that, and we're going to insert this where the fuse went. Okay, we are ready. Now we got to prepare our Autel AL539B. And for you guys who don't know about this machine, this thing is only $89. And you watch what I'm about to do with this. All right, first thing we do, let's get our test leads. And guys who follow our other channel, you know this don't come with the kit. The ones like this don't come with the kit. But there is a link in the descriptions, not in this one, but on our channel, you'll find the links to get this kit. Definitely gonna need a kit.
Look, I'm gonna start charging you for all these plugs.
That's Autel AL539, yeah, buddy.
Okay.
All right, now check this out, guys. This is very important. What the heck?
Shouldn't this have been ready before we started?
Yeah, it should have been. What the deuce, man? All right. Now check it out, guys. This is very important what we need to do. The ground, definitely the black one goes into the common ground right here. That one's a definite. The other one, now usually when you're doing a multimeter, you put it over here. What our test is now, no. You make sure it's over here to the 20 amp port. Not the milliamp, the amp. All right, plug it up into there. The next thing you want to do is go over here. Got your alligator clips on the end of these. Hook up one right here. Just make sure that's out of the way. Make sure everything's out of the way. And then the other one right here. Make sure they're out of the way. And look at that. This thing even comes with a stand, its own kickstand. Bam. All right. Let's get this set up right here so Sylvie can see it. All right. Let's cut that machine on. Let me put it up here in the shade.
Sure, whatever. Well, pick a spot.
I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah. Do me any favors.
Is that good?
Yeah. We'll work with it.
All right. Now the next thing we're gonna do is go down to multimeter. All right. Then we're gonna hit OK. And you're gonna scroll down till you get to 20 amp right there. All right. Right now we have a 0, 2 amps on the top, negative 2 amps on the bottom. Now, make sure all my wires is out of the way here, because they're not. And now I'm going to start the vehicle up. Oh, now let me explain something here, guys. By putting it right there on the 20 amp right now, the AL539B is replacing that fuse. The current is running through the machine, back out. It's replacing that fuse.
Well, what are we supposed to see?
You'll see in a minute. When do you see?
Oh, well, excuse us.
Guys, what you're looking at right here is actually the current spike for each and every cylinder. Notice how all of them, the spacing is even between all of them. That means right now all our cylinders are firing. And I can see that because that misfire only happens once in a while. So what I need to do now is wait for that misfire. You know what? Let me electronic gas cutter. Let me warm this up a little bit. Let me warm this up a little bit, guys, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. Here we go. Look at that pattern. Notice, you see how one spike is missing? That lets me know right there we got a bad coil. And we know we got a P0301, so we actually now know which cylinder it is. So we definitely got a coil bad on cylinder number 1. And if you can, pause this. Hold on one second here. We know this is cylinder number 1. I'm not going to get into that. We'll go into that on the other channel, which will be great. But now you know. And just to prove it to you guys, what I'm going to do, here's number 6. Now what I'm going to do is unplug number 6 at the same time and watch our pattern. Dang it. There it is. Look at our pattern now. Look how wide it gets. See, only 4? That means this thing is only running on 4 cylinders. That's only 4 coils going right there. Don't forget that little line over there. But that's only 4. Here comes the 4 again. See that? Now, what I'm going to do now is plug this back up. And now we're going to have 5. So now we definitely, make sure we got a good look at this. We definitely got a bad coil on cylinder number 1. Now, let me shut this off and I'm going to explain to you here's the problem with this now. All right, I'll be right back. All right, now, I got to talk to the customer. See, we did this over here. That's okay. But this one, we got to remove the upper intake. We got to remove the plenum. It's a good idea. I'm going to check the spark plugs to see how good they are. But it's a good idea to change all 3 coils so we don't have to go back there no more. Right? So, but that's definitely going to be up to the customer. All right, let me go talk to the customer, see what we can do, get some prices up. And we'll be right back. Chat, guys, that thing is bad. Yeah, buddy. The Ortel AL539B. That'll be able to check my coils without me having to do anything. Get my hands dirty or anything. That's all I had to do was take out that fuse and tap into it. That's right. All right, so let me go talk to the customer, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, we spoke to the customer. Customer's a great customer. She said, Tim, you know what? Replace all 3. But here's the problem. We deal with Fisher Auto Parts. Fisher only has 2 in stock. Dang it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to replace, because we know we got number 1 is bad. We're going to replace number 1, number 3, and then I'm going to take number 6 over here that we did before, because this is brand new, and I'm going to put this one over here on cylinder number 5. So that way we got 3 brand new coils over here, and if we ever get a misfire up here, that's pretty easy to change. We ain't got to worry about that. All right, so let's order some parts. I got to let this thing cool down now, because we got to remove this thing. This thing is going to be hot. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, let's get this intake up. The first thing we're going to do is, what you want to do when you do a job like this, you want to start from one corner, and then we're going to work our way around. So the first thing we're going to do is grab us a Phillips screwdriver. We're going to go over here and loosen up this. Oh, this is already loose. We're going to loosen this up a little bit more. Loosen this clamp up. Then take some needle nose pliers. You got a clamp right here. Squeeze this together. Bring this clamp back. And the cover right here, the housing, you got 2 clips back here. Pop those clips off. Pick it up a little bit. Unhook your mass airflow sensor, and by this thing is up too. Oh, what the heck? Pick it up. Squeeze this tab in towards the connector. Unplug it. Pick it up. Unhook it from here. Pull it from the valve cover. Let's take this and set it down. We'll be right back. All right, guys. Now, the back of this intake is held on by 2 12mm bolts. And the bolts are going the opposite way. I'm just showing you where they are. Here's one right here. And right across from it, there's going to be another one. So, to get that, what you're going to need is a 12mm wrench. You're going to reach your hand back through here. Both of the bolts are gone already. So that means somebody did some something back here. But both of the bolts are gone. And actually, there's enough room to get you a 12mm shallow socket 1/4" drive ratchet. And you can definitely reach back here and get those 2 bolts out. And reach your hand and feel back there. And if it's gone, then you're good to go. Man, that's great. So that saves me a little time. All right, the next thing we're going to do is here's our throttle body with our TPS sensor right here. You want to unplug that. Squeeze the tab in right there. And unplug it. Okay, put that down to the side. Now, we got this hose up here. This is going to stay with the intake. We got a plug right here. Squeeze that tab in. Unplug it. And for the evap hose, what we're going to do is take our needle nose pliers, squeeze the clamp in, bring it back, and we're going to unplug that from here and leave that out. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, working our way around. We have our little EGR temperature sensor right here, and I'm not gonna sit here and unplug it and all that, guys. That's what we'll do is get your pole driver. Your pole driver is gonna be your favorite thing right now. And I got me a 10mm deep 3/8 drive socket. See this bolt up here? Take that bolt off, move the bracket out of the way, put your bolt back, and that way you know exactly where it goes. Then take your pole driver, switch over to a 12mm deep socket, 3/8 drive. Now you got your EGR pipe right here. This pipe is flexible. You got two 12mm nuts right there with the washers on the end. Be careful, keep those washers. What we're gonna do here is go in there and take both of those off. All right, let's get those off and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got those out. Now, guys, on the bottom of this throttle body, you're gonna have two little hoses, 3/8 hoses. One right there, and down by the EGR.
You don't have to push.
This hose right here. Antifreeze is going through those hoses, but we're gonna try to attempt to do that without having to disconnect that and have antifreeze all over the place. All right, so let's move on to our next thing. Next thing we're gonna do. Start walking our way around again. We got a 12mm bolt right here. Take that bolt out. Lean that to the side, put the bolt back in. Switch over to your 10mm deep. Got a bolt right here. Take that off, swing that to the side, put the bolt back in. Now, over here you got two vacuum lines. Get a marker or something and mark where they go at so you can put those back. And you're gonna twist those, take them off. Now I'm looking at it because I can see this one has a lot of like kind of like crummy looking right there. So I know that one's gonna go up here, and this one right here goes down there. Move that whole thing out of the way. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, now we're on the other side of the intake. You got two rubber hoses right here. This one right here is going down to our PCV valve. So what I got here is a pair of needle nose pliers.
Too bad you don't have a hose clamp tool.
Yeah, that is a shame. See, you want to be funny, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, back that up. Take that hose off. And then the one right here, this clamp should be further up. This is going to the brake booster. So what we're going to do is just pull that off to the side. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, for this step, switch over to your 12mm deep 3/8 drive and your pawl driver. And what you have here is three 12mm bolts and two nuts. One right here and one right on the other side. So we're gonna go ahead. 1, 2, and then the other 3. Get those out and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're ready to take our plenum up. Now what we need to do is pick this plenum up high enough to clear the studs, or you can get a reversible Torx and take those studs out. I thought this one was kind of loose. It is kind of loose. You know, guys, to make that easier, because what we have to do is pick it up enough off this so we can back it up from this EGR tube. And it'll be a whole lot easier to do. Let me try it first. All right, so I'm gonna pick it up. Okay, good. All right, swing it around. We go. Now we're on the hoses. So now, look at that, guys. We got it. There it is. There's our 3 coils right there. So now let me get a screwdriver or something, and I'm gonna prop this up. Be right back. All right, guys, what I took my pry bar, just held that up like a hood. All right, now we gotta disconnect our coils. The other two, you can't really see the connector, but I'm gonna show you this one, the center one. You got that tab right there. Towards the end of that tab, what you gotta do is squeeze that tab into the connector, and once the top from up here picks up, you wanna pull back on the connector. You know what? Pick it back. I'm gonna take a screwdriver right between here and just twist it just a little bit to unplug it. All right, let me get the other two and I'll be right back. All right, guys, we got all 3 of them done. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm taking my big bill ratchet. Yeah, I love this thing. And I'm using my 10mm deep 3/8 drive socket. And what I'm gonna do is take off the 3 bolts that are holding down the 3 coils. Now I'm not gonna do that one yet, but what we're gonna do is take off the bolts, take the coils, twist it a little bit, and pop them right out. Now, remember, we know these 2 are good. So I wanna set these up over here. Just like that. And let's get this last one out. And we gotta make sure we throw this one away right now because we know this one is bad. All right, so let's get that one out of there and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're ready to put our new coils in. But before we do, you know, guys, check this out. I'm kind of, even though the 2, here's the bracket right here that I was telling you about. And there's gonna be 2 12mm bolts, one going right here and one going through here, and it's gonna screw into the intake right there. This one was gone. Now it looks like somebody, because of that, I'm gonna believe that somebody did change the spark plugs, because last time we checked this, when we had the Misfire over here on cylinder number 6, the spark plug was almost like brand new. But you know, some of these shops are grimy. Now they'll change them fronts and leave those backs alone. So just to be sure that what it was changed, I'm gonna grab my 16mm, or you can use a 5/8 deep socket with a 6-inch 3/8 drive extension. And what I'm gonna do here is I just want to verify this for myself that the plugs back here was changed. Let's get that plug out and we'll be right back. All right, guys, let's get our plug out of there. Now, a good little trick, guys. Get you a 3/8 hose, and that way you can go ahead and hook that on and pull that out. Okay, yeah, it was changed. That's a nice platinum plug, NGK. Okay, cool. All right, so let's put this back in and go grab our new coils. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got one of our brand new coils, and what I'm going to do, being that this one is hard to get to over here, I'm going to go ahead and plug this up right now into it. Make sure it's on good. Bring that over here. Lower that into the cylinder and push that down. We're going to get our second one, which is brand new. It better be brand new. What the heck? All this thing clip on now. There we go. Okay. Push that one down into the cylinder. And just like I said before, we're going to take this one. I'm going to unplug this coil. And we're going to take this coil and put it over here and take one of our good ones and set it right there. All right? We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our 3 brand new coils up here, and you still got one of the old ones up there. Let's get our 10mm bolts back in here. And all 3 bolts are the same length, so you don't have to worry about crossing them up. Alright, that is great. The next thing we're going to do, take our big bill ratchet and we're going to tighten these up. Now, tighten these up, don't go crazy. That's all you have to do is bring it down till it stops. That's it. Alright, let's get these tightened up and we'll be right back. Alright, guys, we're ready now to change our plenum gasket. A lot of times, I see a lot of guys, they'll run their finger across here, and if you feel a little lip, the gasket is still good. Guys, you got this apart. You might as well go ahead and change it. Now, take note of your gasket. You see these 2 holes, this little tab right here with the 2 holes? That's to the front of the engine. Your new gasket going to look exactly the same. So, also, guys, you know what I should have told you? When you're doing this job, you might be doing spark plugs and all. Get you a rag or 2 rags and lay it across there so you don't drop nothing down in the intake. Because you drop something down there, especially a bolt, you done for. You can forget it. You better get that out and don't try to start this engine and think it's going to go through the engine and out the exhaust, because it won't. All right, so let's pull that off. Take our gasket off. Now, being that this is rubber gasket, you don't need a lot of abrasives to clean this off. Only thing to do is get you a rag, get some carburetor cleaner, spray the rag and wipe it off. Look how clean that is. All right, so we're gonna clean this off, and we're gonna clean up under the plenum over here. So, all right, let's get that cleaned up, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got that nice and cleaned off. Here's our new gasket. There's a tab with the 2 holes in it I was telling you about. So we know that goes in the front. Lay that down. That's perfect. Now, your gasket set will not come with this gasket right here, but that's okay. What you want to make sure you have is some red silicone, not the black, not the blue, the red or the gray. You got to get one that's high temp. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to come over this side. Here's your gasket. You're going to bring that gasket down. Make sure you put it back on the same way. Take a small bead of the red silicone or high temp silicone, put it around that way, and what it's going to do is going to fill in all the area where that gasket messed up at. But you got to make sure you put it on exactly the way you took it off. Okay, we're going to go to this side, put a little bead around it, and this is going to help because this is going to stay.
It stinks.
Yeah, it does smell good. It's going to help keep that gasket into place when we go to set it back on. Alright, let's close this up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, now we're ready to get our plenum back on. Let's pop our pry bar out of there and bring this around. And the first thing we need to do is go into the exhaust pipe, then pick it up to go over that intake, over that bolt. Get that lined up. Okay. Slowly lower down the other end. And we are on. Now what we're going to do is grab our bolts, and nuts, the 3 bolts, 2 nuts, and we're going to start them off by hand. Let's get them set in and we'll be right back. Alright guys, that's all I did was bring the bolts and nuts down just by hand. Now we're going to tighten this up. Now when you tighten this up, you got to start from the center. Why? Because even though we can't see it, the intake warps. So if you tighten it up from the outside first, you're going to create a gap right in the center and you're going to have a leak. You got to tighten from the center so it walks its way out. Alright, so we're going to start from the center. These bolts and nuts are tightened to 168 inch-pounds. So I got my 1/4 inch drive torque wrench, Pittsburgh, Harbor Freight. Yeah, buddy.
Right, it could also be 14 foot-pounds.
Or 14 foot-pounds. Alright, so we can go ahead and tighten it up till it clicks. And then we're going to go out to the 2 out here, and then the 2 nuts. So let's go and do one more with you. Alright, let's get the other 3 done, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got those torqued down. The next thing we're going to do, before we connect anything, let's get this tightened up because we got that silicone right there. So we're going to put our washers on it. Our 2 12mm nuts. And we're going to get our pull driver with our 12mm deep 3/8 drive socket and go ahead and tighten those up. Alright, let's tighten those up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, putting everything back together. Let's start back from over here. We got our hose way back in here. Let's go into our PCV valve. Let's get that on. And we got our hose right here going to our brake booster. Let's get that on. Alright, and then what I'm going to do is take my needle nose pliers and we're going to bring those clamps up in place. Alright, so let's get that done. And I might have to put my hand down here and help bring that forward.
Boy, you really need to get your hose clamp tool.
Well, see, these clamps are little, so I don't know.
But don't they have different sizes?
Okay, there's one. Let's get the other one on, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, now back around. Walking our around this entire assembly right here. Got our hoses hooked up, and actually, check that out. The hoses are even preformed already for us, so we know exactly where they go. And in case you don't know where they go and you're replacing the hoses, let's see. Let's put this solenoid back in place where it belongs with this 10mm bolt. And just in case, the one for vacuum is going to the port on the inside. So the vacuum port is going to the one on the inside of that valve, just in case. All right, let's take our 12mm bolt up. Put our canister in place. All right, let's grab our pawl driver. We got both sockets, deep, 12mm and 10mm. Let's go ahead and tighten those up, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, now we're back on this side. Let's get our bolt out of here. The EGR temperature sensor bracket, plug that up. Connect to the solenoid. Connect the evap hose. Right there. Make sure we connect our throttle body. And there you go, push that up till it clicks into place. That's done. All right, let's get our needle nose. Bring this clamp forward. Okay, let's tighten this up with our 10mm and our pawl driver, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, next thing we got our air cleaner assembly. Now, guys, this is very important right here. First of all, let's hook it up on to the throttle body. Then over here, let's hook it on to the valve cover. Then let's bring this clamp forward. Now, you have your mass airflow sensor right here. If you got any leak on this before it gets to the intake, this thing is gonna run like garbage. And remember, this clamp was a little loose. We gotta make sure this clamp is tight. But before we do that, let's go over here and plug up our mass airflow sensor. Just like that. You got 3 little openings right in front on the air filter box. You gotta make sure you go into there first. Then push this side down, take the clips and lock them into place. Now getting that with a screwdriver was kind of difficult. So what I'm going to use here is, I'm going to get a 1/4" drive ratchet with a deep 5/16 or 8mm. Oh, is that a 10? No, it's a 10. And actually, wait a minute, I can get my regular ratchet. I'm gonna use a 3/8 drive, deep with a 10mm, and I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up. This has got to be tight. Can't no air come in there. All right, so let's get that tightened up, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got everything done. Now what we're gonna do is cut back on our Autel. Our AL539B, like this machine. And let me scroll down. Let me go down to the 20 amp scale. Okay, you can move this around if you need to and all. And let me start the vehicle up. Oh yeah, we got all of them. All right, guys, what I'm gonna do, we're gonna let this run for about 15 minutes, and then we'll be back. All right, guys, we had let this thing run for 15 minutes. Look at that. No breakdown, all the peaks are there. this is great. We definitely repaired this problem. All right, so while that's running, what I want to do is go ahead, set the cover back on it. Got the 4 5mm hex bolts. Put them in and bolt them up. We'll be right back. All right, guys, everything is great. Now, before I disconnect this, I want to make sure I don't blow no fuse in this. I'm going to shut our autel off. I'm going to say bye-bye. Then, we go over here. Oh, this dropped down. I got to pick this up a little bit more. Remove our fuse eliminator. Get the 15 amp fuse. Set it back in place. Okay. Push this fuse box back down. Put our cover on it. Great. Then we're gonna
back on it.
That ain't mine.
Put the cap back on.
I didn't take it off.
Yes, you did.
I didn't take it off.
Saw it. It's
sorry.
On video.
Well, I'm busy.
Go back on the video and watch
I'm sorry.
it.
Well, that's not my problem.
Got it from your pay. That's all.
All right, guys, and check this out, guys. You got these $10,000 scopes out there. They can't match with that because what happens now? Because now they got to put that scope away, go back and grab this other $10,000 machine to finish doing what we got to do now, which is clear the check engine light. So that's all I have to do is disconnect my test leads, go over there, get my other cable, hook back up to the top, and then we're going to clear the codes. All right? And then we'll be done. We'll be right back.
Alright, so today we had a 2004 Nissan Maxima and we had a check engine light. So we showed you how to diagnose that check engine light.
Yeah, using the autel AL539V. You got to say that.
And in this situation, it was a P0301, which was cylinder misfire on number 1. So we showed you how to check the coil, replace it, and so that's we'll go for any coil in the back of the engine. All right, so for the people who do have those bolts in the back for that bracket, make sure you put those back. We didn't have any, so we didn't have to put them back. So if you guys have any comments or questions, you can post it below in the comment section, or you can email Timmy at tim@astralautorepairs.com. Hope you paid attention. If not, watch it again. This is Sylvia from Astral Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can. See you next time.